Is it on the button now? Oh. What's up, YouTube? I hope you're having a great, amazing day. Right now it's like 8 o'clock at night and I'm bored, and so I decided to make a video for y'all. And I was thinking, I was like, what kind of video should I make for y'all? I'm already making a vlog for this week, but I was like, no, I want something up today. I want it up right now. I want it up ASAP. I don't want to wait. I don't want y'all waiting no more. I told y'all I was bringing the content, and I gotta bring the content. I gotta bring the heat. This isn't a game. This is real life. And I was like, what can I bring to you? What can I give you? And I was thinking, and I was like, Nicole, I'm going to give them what I'm best at, and that's storytelling. So today, if you did not read the title, today is going to be a story time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into the story time, you already know what to do. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really need y'all to do that. We're at 41 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get to 50 as soon as possible, okay? As soon as possible, then we'll be Gucci. So if you like this story time, make sure to smack that subscribe button and click that bell. That way you get notified every time I post, okay? Not just some of the time, but I need y'all to know every time I post. So, let's start off with when and where this story time takes place. So basically, this story time takes place in middle school, 6th grade. And I know a lot of people go through like that awkward phase. And I was in that awkward phase during 6th grade. Basically through all of middle school. I was in like a really weird awkward phase. I didn't know how to dress for my life. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. Like I had no sort of like structure in middle school. So the only structure I had was laughter. Emphasis on why I like telling stories sometimes, and like I like making people laugh. So I would make people laugh all through like middle school, and say for high school, and up until now. So I wasn't considered the class clown, but everybody knew that I was funny, basically. And so I had this friend, or this girl that I knew. Okay, I've known her ever since like we went to like freaking like pre-K and stuff like that. Our parents knew each other and stuff like that, and so we've known each other for a fairly long time. We didn't go to elementary school, but we went to middle school together because like we were zoned for different middle schools. And so I told y'all I was like considered like really funny in like middle school. People knew me for being funny. And so out of the blue, you know how when you go to middle school, you try to become a completely different person than you really are outside of school. So like when you go to school, you like put on a facade and all that kind of stuff. This was her, bro. She was constantly putting on a facade. One day she was gangster. One day she's like a chick from the suburbs. One day she's rich. One day she ain't got $1 to her name, bruh. One day she know Biggie Smalls. One day Tupac's her freaking uncle or something like that. She was one of them girls that she just could not find her way through school, so she just like lied through her entire like middle school like life, and like put on different like faces every time she stepped in a different hallway. And so basically she just didn't like me. And so one day, like, she was very flip-floppy, bro. She was just super flip-floppy like 1 week. And so one day she was my friend, the next day she wasn't, then she was, then she wasn't, then she was, then she wasn't. And so like I didn't know how to like portray this girl. I was like, bruh, you're freaking crazy, but alright, like I don't really care what you think of me. And so basically one day she comes up to me before school starts, and she literally steps to me and is like, get up. And I'm like, huh? See me, like, I'm super oblivious to like altercations, because when I was like younger, I hated altercations. Like, when like a fight broke out, I kind of got nervous and I would get like really bad anxiety. So like when she told me to stand up, like, I'm super dumb. I'm like, all right, like, what do you want? Like, she's like, I hear you talking about me, and I was like, huh? She's like, I hear you talking crap about me. And me being so dumb, I've never been like, and like, I've never had beef with anybody. I never had like an altercation with anybody. And so she comes up to me, and she like, her just coming up to me in like this aggressive tone and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, nah, I hear you talking about me. And everything that's coming out of her mouth is freaking lies. Like, I have no clue what this girl is talking about. She's like, I heard you talking about me last week. Da 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 da. And I'm like, last week you said you wasn't friends with me, because I told you she's freaking flip-floppy every single day, like every single day. And so now people are starting to come around us and stuff like that. And like everybody's like starting to like whisper, because they think like a fight about to break out. But me being like the dummy oblivious like person I am, I'm just sitting there just like thinking like people just around here because the bell about to ring, bruh. No, they think a fight about to break out. She's like, you better stand up. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm tired, man. Like, you know, like, it was like freaking like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, nah, I'm tired, bro. I'm good. I'm like, why I gotta stand up? She's like, stand up, or I'm gonna make you stand up. And this is the part that, like, where she looks super stupid, because I'm taller than her. Like, by like a long shot. This girl is tiny, bro. Not like midget tiny, but she's tiny, bro. And so she comes up to me, she's like, stand up, or I'm gonna make you stand up. And I'm like, what? And they were like, I literally started laughing in her face, and then everybody was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I was like, bruh, I doubt you could really do that. And then she was like, stand up. And now she looking stupid, bruh. And she's like, and like now she's like puffing out her chest. She's taking the backpack off and all that kind of stuff. She like throws her backpack on the ground. And I'm like,
bruh, like, I know you got your phone in there. Like, I don't know why you just did that.
She's like, stand up. And like she's like getting like, she's starting to like raise her voice. Mind you, this girl is tiny, bro. She's like super tiny. And she's like, stand up. And I'm like, why, bro? Like, why do you want me to stand up? Like, what's like, is this like a height contest right now? Like, what we doing? Like, I don't understand. I'm tired. Like, you exerting mad energy, like, this early in the morning. I'm not understanding the language that you're talking. And so she's like, you better stand up right now. I'ma count down, bro. I'ma count down. And I'm like, okay, we know you know numbers. Like, what the like, what do you, what? And then she's like, 5, 4. And the people behind me, my friends are like, yo, Nicole, stand up, bro. I'm like, for what? And she's like, 3, 2. And then when she get to 1, I just stand up, and everybody's like, oh, oh my God. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with y'all? Bruh, I just stood up. Like, I'm thinking I'm like a freaking celebrity at this point. I'm like, well, hey, I might as well like do yoga poses while we at it. If I'm gonna get a reaction like that, you know? And so she steps to me, bro. And like her head is like freaking like a little bit above my belly button. And she's like staring up at me. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, bet. I'm gonna catch you outside. I'm like, bro, we go to the YMCA after school. I was like, duh, I'm gonna see you. Like, what you talking about? And so she leaves. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just did that, Nicole. Da, 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 da. I'm like, did what? What did I do? I was like, I just stood up and just had a conversation with this girl who's obviously a psycho. And then they're like, bro, Nicole, she wanted to fight you. I'm like, what? Fight? Me? I'm like, I've never been in a fight in my life. And they're like, bro, she's been in fights, I'm like, bruh, yeah, with squirrels. What are you talking about? She's never been in a fight in her life. Like, when I tell you, like, our families are tight. Like, my mom and her mom were, like, super close, bro. Like, they were both, like, in, like, the, what do you call it? The financial industry and all that kind of stuff. They're super close. They go to the same hairdresser and everything. So I'm like, I know this girl. She was not gonna do nothing. And they're like, are you serious, bro? And so now I'm basically oblivious again to the situation, not knowing that I'm actually like airing out like her dirty laundry at the same time as I'm just saying all this stuff. And so after school, bro, she gets even more mad, bro. So basically, again with the basically, I go to sports club. Okay, I was either in sports club or rec room, bro. I was in sports club, so I signed up for sports club after the Y, and then next thing you know, one of the counselors comes up to me and was like, Nicole, you gotta leave. I'm like, leave for what? They're like, we heard about the altercation you had with, I'm not gonna say her name, with so and so, and I'm like, what altercation? Because me being the stupid, oblivious dummy, not knowing that this girl was about to fight me, forgetting the fact that the altercation even happened in the morning. They're like, they're like, you don't remember? I'm like, oh yeah, she's stupid crazy, bro. I'm like, what? And they're like, no, but she's gonna come to this club because after homework club, she signed up to come here, and we don't want anything to happen. I'm like, happen? I'm like, what is she gonna do? They're like, we don't know, and I'm like, bruh, are y'all really that scared of her? And so she shows up with her crew. Half of her crew are friends because I know them. Like half of her crew, I know them. Like half of her crew are my friends. So like her crew shows up and like two of them I barely even know. The rest of them, like I said, are all my friends, bro. And so they come up. And so she comes and I'm on the track and I'm circling around, bro. And me and my friends we just talking and stuff like that, and then we go up into the bleachers outside. And so we're talking and stuff like that. And then she finds her way to me, bro. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not with this no more. Me and my friends, I was like, bruh, let's just go to the wall ball course because I see that she's coming this way. So I'm like, I'm not trying to like talk to this crazy chick no more. And my friends are like, yeah, like let's just go, bro, because we don't want to cause no scene or anything like that. And so she basically follows me, and so we pass the track. We go from the track across the basketball courts, and she stops us midway in the basketball courts, and she starts screaming out my name, bro. She's like, Nicole! I'm like, ignore, 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 ignore. I'm just like, just keep going, bro. Just keep going. Maybe it's another person. Knowing I'm the only Nicole in this group. She's like, yo, Nicole, I know you hear me. And then again, just ignore them. Just ignore the crazy. Just ignore the crazy. And then next thing you know, she freaking screams at the top of her lungs like I thought like I was in a scary movie for like 2.5 seconds. And she's like, let go! And I'm like, and I turn around and I'm like, what? What do you want? And she's like, you know what I want. I'm like,
No, not really.
she comes up to me. She was like, it's time. And like she's like, I feel like the way she was talking was like so stupid. It sounded like she was like freaking like the Godfather or something like that. Like she was like in like a freaking mafia movie. And I'm like, time for what? I'm like, am I going home? Like they call me on the radio? Am I going home? And they're like, she's like, you know what time it is. And so she takes off her backpack again. I'm like, oh my god, this stuff again. And I'm just like this, man. I'm like, this girl is crazy. She comes up to me and she pushes me, bro. And like, I started laughing because I'm like, what was that for? And so like everybody starts like coming. You know how fights are. Everybody starts circling around and stuff like that, bro. They start and like surrounding us and stuff. And so she comes up and she's like, what you gonna do? I'm like, nothing. I was like, your push just felt like a tickle, but I don't understand why you pushed me. I'm like, what'd you do that for? Like, I'm trying to have a civil conversation with this girl. And so I'm like, why'd you push me? She was like, no more talking. I was like, all right, well then I'm just go. If you don't want to talk, shoot, I didn't want to talk to you anyway. And she was like, nah, come back here. And I'm like, what? And so she pushes me again, and like the second time, like it was a little bit harder, not by much, but it was just a little bit harder. I'm like, bruh, you need to relax. Like, I don't know what you're on, but you need to calm down. And she's like, nah. She's like, you better catch these hands. I'm like, whose hands? And now, as she's coming to push me, I'm like, bruh, like, I'm not gonna let you push me as I'm irritated now. And so she comes to push me, but as she puts her hands right here, I push her back, bro. And when I push her back, she falls to the ground. And everybody, like, literally was like, at this point, like, the whole crowd is corrupt. And then she gets back up. She's like, you just made the worst mistake of your life. And I'm like, how? You're the one who put your hands on me. And so now she comes up to push me again. And so, you know, like when you see in the movies how like you do like the little side sweep and you push like them to the ground, like you move to the side and then you push them to the ground. That's exactly what I did. She comes charging at me, bro, like a freaking like ant. And then she's coming and she's running, and then I turn and like I push her like on her back, and she falls to the ground again. And then again, everybody's like, and she's like looking at me like thinking that I'm literally about to like beat her down. And like me, like middle school me was not as aggressive as I am now. Like the version of me now is a little bit more aggressive because now like I don't know, like I just got tired of people like attempting to like take advantage of me and stuff like that. So like the version of me now is very aggressive, but middle school me was like very innocent and didn't know a lot. And so I'm like, I'm not about to beat her up, bro. She gets up and she's just like screaming as Adam's like running past me, and she's like, yeah, next time I'ma hurt you worse than that. And I'm like, you sound crazy. And so basically And so basically that happened, and I told, as I'm like leaving the scene, I tell the people, my group counselor, I'm like, bro, I'm going to rec room, man. She's crazy. And they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm not hurt. Like, she didn't scratch me. She didn't do anything. She just wasted my time. Like I said, I hate having my time wasted. And so I was so upset that I literally just grabbed my stuff. Me and my friends, we left and we went to rec room and watched basically nerds play video games like for the rest of the time. And what literally lit the fire in this girl's behind was I told my mom. And I know what you're thinking, oh my gosh, Nicole, why'd you snitch? Why'd you snitch? Basically, I told my mom as a joke. Because I was like, oh because my mom, when she picked me up, she's like, oh, how's your day? Da-da-da. You know, typical mom things, parental guidance things. She's like, how was your day? And I was like, oh my gosh, crazy. She's like, oh, what happened? And I was like, oh, so-and-so tried to, like, fight me. And then my mom's like, what? And, yo, she literally, before I could even get the rest, before I could say anything else, my mom is literally on the phone with her mom, telling her the entire story. The next day, I get to school, bro. This girl's apologizing to me. Alright guys, this ends the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're at 41 subscribers. Please, please, please subscribe if you like the story time. If you want any more story times, leave it down below. Any topics or anything you want me to talk about, leave it down below. And I shall do as I receive. Alright, that's it for me. Remember to always stay squeaky clean. Woo! I'm out.